It stands for
Rocky Mountain RM.
Rocky Mountain.
Rocky Mountain Workforce.
Rocky Mountain Workforce. Something.
Rocky Mountain Workforce Development Association.
Rocky Mountain Workforce Development Association.
Rocky Mountain Workforce Development Association.
we got it.
All right.
Probably the most well-known one would be WIOA.
Idea.
I think there's so many acronyms that all of them have to be your favorite, and you have to make sure that you remember all of them because they stand for so many great things. So acronyms are kind of save our day to make sure that we're using teams properly.
Mine is ETA 671 because it's what I live by. It's the form that shows you're in a registered apprenticeship.
Well, I did attempt to turn all I do is win into all I do is WIOA, but I'm still working through the semantics.
Reskill, upskill, next skill.
Just the numerous tracks and the great selection to pick from the different topics.
Meeting more people, attending these sessions, and really learning how I can be a better case manager and a team member, and bringing the information that I'm learning back to my team when this is all done.
Just meeting people that I only get to see on Zoom. It's so exciting to meet people outside of CDLE on Zoom.
Anything that has to do with economic development and also job quality, those are big topics for me.
I'm super excited. There's a couple on grant management and contract management, which is what I'm getting into. So I'm excited to be able to get some heads up.
Just the networking and getting to see people in person, having supported statewide for the last 2.5 years, being able to put some faces and names, it's really exciting. And hugs.
I'm looking forward to connections and any way I can improve and be a better case manager definitely is of interest to me.
Well, besides being a yard sale attendant as a child, my first job was actually in clinical world of case management at Clinica Family Health here in Colorado.
My first job was actually working for our family restaurant, little Italian restaurant in Arvada, Colorado.
My first job, I was actually a chambermaid in a local hotel in Camden, Maine, where I'm from originally.
My first job, I was a hod carrier for my dad. My dad was a bricklayer, and I carried the mud and bricks to the scaffolding when I was in junior high.
I worked at the gas station at the Shell gas station in a small town in Wisconsin. I was a chicken girl, a deli girl.
And I began being an after-school program tutor to elementary school kids. And that was my first job. I got $18 an hour. I was so excited.
Oh, my first job, I was a cook at Domino's Pizza when I was 13 years old.
Ultimately found myself in workforce and engaging with customers who want to be helped and want to make that turnaround is just my driving motivation. I truly enjoy it.
I had worked juvenile corrections for about 10 to 11 years, and then I transferred to Mason County in their child welfare for their youth department, and then an opportunity with the WIOA grant, which is our career development program, opened up, and it was for a youth case manager. And because I've always worked with youth, I thought it would be a really good fit, and so I took that opportunity and got in.
Started, many years ago. I actually started out in church, and then came as part of human services, and then worked into my workforce.
I saw one of my former co-workers started working for the organization that I'm currently working. I kind of reached out and asked what she was doing, and the way she described it just kind of sold me on it. Even though she wasn't trying to, I just kind of fell in love with it, and I applied 3 times until I was finally able to get that opportunity that I got today.
Then I remember kind of seeing a job posting for 80 Works, and I was like, I think I could make that. And I fell in love with kind of looking at people's purpose and their jobs, and I found
a true passion for that and trying to kind of enlist that in other people.
Well, Josh Davies is always phenomenal, and I love how it brings the topic full circle, but then still hits home with your own little personal strategy that you leave with dedicated.
I got to go to an amazing pre-conference that was focused all about how we utilize data and connect it with businesses and individual job seekers.
Anytime Joe Barella speaks, you can tell that his heart is completely in workforce, and I really love that. You don't see that too often, especially after someone has established a sound career for so many years, that, you know, that love for it.
I just attended a New Americans conference or workshop right now. It was really educational. I learned a lot. I feel like I can serve that community better in my area in Aurora, Colorado, and I can help them kind of get more resources to them and make sure that I'm serving them best.
It's a great opportunity to get to be with people and just learn from colleagues across the state. And certainly for me, I have a lot to learn, so it's great to tap into the wealth of wisdom here.
Cece from Northwood, they did the New Americans presentation. They had some really fun ideas and some pushing towards collaboration that kind of narrows the focus about what I'm trying to do for employers.
Governor Polis's surprise visit and really focusing on skills that people may have without having that degree, because understanding that not everybody's college track.
It's just great overall to really come together, with the common goal of wanting to grow Colorado and its workforce.
Well, Todd's a really good friend, but Lee's been rocking it since the beginning, so we'll just go with Lee.
Oh, geez. I don't know if I can take a side on that one. I have to say, though, the sparkly one last night that Lee was wearing is a bow tie specific, not to the person. But that was a cool bow tie. I like sparkles.
Dang, that's hard, because I've seen Lee in his bow tie, and he's pretty awesome. But I haven't seen Todd in his. I'm gonna have to go with Lee.
Man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with Lee, man. He's really rocking it today.
Lee, hands down.
I come to RMWDA for the fashion. It's basically the Met Ball of Colorado. I mean, let's be honest here. So, you know, Lee brings his game with the bow tie. He always is impeccable. But Todd always changes it up a little bit. He always represents Colorado. So it's you're making me pick between two loves here. But Lee, love the ties.
It's gonna have to be Dr.
Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Diet Dr. Pepper is my love language.
Dr. Pepper all the way. Dr. Pepper a day keeps the doctor away.
Dr. Dre.
Instinct to go with Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre, definitely.
It's Dr. Dre and water.
I'm gonna have to go with Dr. Dre. I'm gonna have to go to Dr. Dre. He's gonna pick the vibes up, shake some of that sickness off. I'm going with Dr. Dre.
What resources I can bring back to my small rural community from being around all these bigger communities.
What this week has meant to me is how much I really enjoy meeting and networking with my fellow peers across the state.
They're really simple things, but speaking to other industry leaders, like simplifying things, not reinventing the wheel, and maximizing partnership. So instead of us doing our own outreach, partnering with the Chamber of Commerce, all of them that we deal with, because we have a couple of them, as well as Small Business Association, and pulling our collective efforts so that they're in alignment with a bigger goal, and also so that our community of employers are not being contacted multiple times from different agencies for the same thing.
I want to serve my customers the best way that I know how to and I can. And I think sometimes taking those really powerful speakers and taking it into my day-to-day task is the best thing that I could do.
One of the things that I'm really interested in exploring is the idea of using metrics to measure diversity within our own organization. What I'm learning more than anything is from all of my associates here who are doing phenomenal work that I don't know about. And that's my favorite pace, is just having a clearinghouse of these amazing ideas and practices that we really get to learn about. And I just want to take back to my community and implement, because they're so exciting.